The Disaster Management Authority begins assessing damage to homes affected by severe flooding this weekend. And Maldivian aims to become the leading tourist carrier to the Maldives as it expands its network.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the English News Bulletin on MMTV. I'm Aishat Tashkil with the news this hour. President Dr. Mohamed Moise has arrived in Kaf Guri today, marking his first island visit of 2025 as part of the ongoing nationwide local council engagement initiative. President Dr. Moise, accompanied by ministers and senior government officials, is set to meet with the Guri Island Council and the Women's Development Committee to discuss development priorities for the island community. The visit forms part of the President's broader program to engage with local councils across the country's atolls, islands and cities throughout 2025, an initiative which started in 2024. The President will assess community needs and consult with residents on development projects during his stay. The delegation will focus on gathering first-hand insights into local conditions and establishing project priorities based on community feedback. The National Disaster Management Authority (NDMA) will begin assessing damage to homes affected by severe flooding on January 5, 2025, following continuous rainfall last Friday. The NDMA reported receiving over 400 calls for assistance during the flooding and has provided temporary shelter and food aid to 226 people displaced by the disaster. Efforts are now underway to help those in temporary shelters return to their homes as conditions improve. In collaboration with island councils, the NDMA is also conducting a comprehensive assessment of the damage across affected islands to ensure effective recovery and support measures. The heavy downpour, described as the most intense in recent memory, caused widespread disruption, impacting daily life and straining infrastructure. While Male City was among the hardest hit areas, flooding also caused significant damage across other regions of the Maldives. Nilandu and Himafushi were heavily impacted, with the NDMA reporting that 60% of Himafushi experienced flooding. The Maldives National Defence Force MNDF Fire and Rescue Service is working to procure specialized pumps capable of discharging water mixed with debris. This move comes in response to challenges faced using ordinary pumps, which frequently clog due to waste in floodwater, causing delays in drainage operations. Speaking on MMTV Bodhapur program, Principal Director of MNDF's Fire and Rescue Service, Colonel Mohammad Nadeem Ibrahim, announced plans to acquire 2 specialized pumps with the capacity to discharge 6 tons of water each by January 2025. He explained that these pumps would enable faster, safer and more efficient water drainage during flood situations in urban areas. Colonel Nadeem highlighted that ordinary pumps require frequent stoppages for cleaning when debris blocks the pump's intake, slowing down operations. In contrast, specialized pumps are specially designed to handle water mixed with solid waste, allowing continuous drainage and quicker results. In addition to procuring the specialized pumps, Colonel Nadeem revealed plans to install automatic pumps in designated pits across the Male City. These pumps will operate independently to manage water accumulation, reducing reliance on manual interventions during flood events. During the recent heavy rains that caused severe flooding in Male City, the MNDF Fire and Rescue Service deployed 16 pumps across 6 areas. Over 569 tons of water were pumped out, with city streets with water being discharged at a rate of 24,397 litres per minute at peak operation. Maldivian aims to become the leading tourist carrier to the Maldives as it expands its network to compete with other airlines, says Maldivian's financial controller Ahmad Ramiz. The national carrier announced its entry into wide-body operations with its first A330 aircraft scheduled to arrive on Monday. The aircraft will operate weekly flights to Beijing, Shanghai and Chengdu, potentially bringing an additional 60,000 tourists annually to the Maldives. During MMTV's Bodohabur program, Island Aviation Services (IAS) business development strategist Mohammad Saffar called the expansion a national endeavor, opening numerous gateways. The initiative fulfills a key pledge made by President Dr. Mohammad Muiz. The new aircraft features 264 seats, 18 in business class, 36 in premium economy, and 210 in economy. With a 10-ton cargo capacity and ability to fly 10 hours non-stop, it will also facilitate trade between the Maldives and China. Ramiz highlighted that the aircraft will enhance Hajj pilgrim transport services, noting its advanced features promise substantial benefits for both our organization and the Maldivian people. The expansion marks a significant milestone for IAS, established 25 years ago following Air Maldives' bankruptcy. That crisis had disrupted pilgrim transport from Mecca. IAS confirmed competitive pricing for Maldivian passengers on China routes. A special ceremony and air show will mark the aircraft's arrival on Monday evening. Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Abdullah Khalil has arrived in the United Arab Emirates UAE following his official visit to India. The visit comes at the invitation of UAE Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Dr. Khalil is accompanied by Ambassador-at-Large Abdullah Hamid and Joint Secretary Mariam Resha. During his visit, Dr. Khalil is scheduled to meet with Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan to discuss ways to further strengthen the long-standing ties between the Maldives and the UAE. Their discussion will focus on enhancing cooperation across various sectors and identify new opportunities for collaboration. The Foreign Ministry also stated that Dr. Khalil will engage with senior UAE government officials to explore opportunities for strengthening partnerships and expanding collaboration across key sectors. Prior to arriving in the UAE, Dr. Khalil concluded an official visit to India, where he met with Minister of External Affairs of India, S. Jaishankar, and signed the High Impact Community Development Projects Agreement. Minister of Defence Mohammad Ghassan Mamoon is scheduled to visit India this week from the 7th to the 8th of this month. This is Minister Ghassan's first trip to India since taking office as Defence Minister. During this trip, security-related discussions between the two countries will take place. As Minister Ghassan heads to India, Foreign Minister Dr. Abdullah Khalil visited India last week. During his 3-day official visit to India, he met with India's External Affairs Minister, Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar. They also signed an agreement with India to implement the second phase of high-impact community development projects in the Maldives. We have more news coming up after this short break. Welcome back. In more local news, police are actively seeking witnesses to a serious accident that occurred in Hulumale Phase 2 on 27 December 2024. The collision, which took place at 1:45 a.m., involved a police vehicle and a motorcycle at the junction of Nirolumagu and Gulalama Hingum. Authorities are urging anyone who witnessed the incident to contact the Police Traffic Investigation Unit on 944-4880 and provide any information that could assist in the investigation. The crash left a 19-year-old motorcyclist critically injured. The young man, who is employed by Customs, is currently receiving treatment in the ICU at the Indira Gandhi Memorial Hospital, IGMH. According to police, the accident occurred when the motorcyclist, reportedly travelling at high speed, collided head-on with a police vehicle that was crossing Nirolumagu from Gullalama Hingung. It was also stated that the motorcyclist had violated traffic regulations and had his license suspended a week before the incident. The police are also examining whether the officer driving the police car acted negligently at the time of the collision. The victim's family, however, has disputed this account, raising concerns about the actions of the police. They allege that the police vehicle was crossing the road in an unsafe manner, making a turn it should not have, leading to the crash. The family has also questioned the police's assertion that the rider's license had been suspended, calling for documentation to substantiate this claim. They pointed out that the motorcycle the young man had previously ridden was recently modified, seized by the authorities, and the owner of the bike was subsequently fined. However, they are unaware of his license being suspended. Police have reiterated their call for witnesses to come forward as the investigation continues to examine all factors contributing to the accident, including the conduct of both the motorcyclist and the police driver. Maldivian authorities are actively seeking the whereabouts of a 26-year-old man, Izam Zahir, a resident of Gafdal Wadu, who has failed to appear before the criminal court for ongoing hearings related to a case filed against him. According to a statement from the Maldives Police Service, multiple efforts have been made to produce Izam in custody, but these attempts have been unsuccessful. His absence has caused a delay in the judicial proceedings, prompting the police to issue a public appeal for assistance. The Maldives Police Service has requested anyone with information about Izam's location to contact the Wadu Police Station at 996-0159. The authorities express their gratitude to the public for their cooperation in such matters. Further details about the case or the nature of the charges against Zahir have not been disclosed. The police continue to urge citizens to come forward with any information that could aid in locating him, ensuring that judicial processes can proceed without further delays. Waste Management Corporation WAMCO has withdrawn its decision to include waste collection charges in electricity bills for atolls. Initially, WAMCO had planned to implement this change starting January 1, 2025. However, the decision has been reversed following directives from the government. Following this decision, WAMCO services will now be available only to households and businesses registered with the company. Payments for waste collection services will be processed through the office established in the atolls and via WAMCO's Avas Pay portal. Households are required to pay a monthly fee of 150 rupiah for waste collection in Male City and atolls. While residents of Male pay this fee alongside their electricity bill, households in other atolls must pay it separately. Schools across the Maldives reopened today, January 5, as students and teachers returned from the midterm break that began on December 22. The term, which runs until March 6, marks the final stretch of the academic year before the next begins on April 6th. The current academic year, which started in August 2024, has so far included 85 days of study in the first term. The second term, now underway, will spend 105 days as outlined in the academic calendar released by the Ministry of Education. In recent years, the academic calendar in the Maldives has undergone significant changes. Previously, the school year traditionally began in January, but this was shifted to August in 2021 under the administration of former President Ibrahim Mohamed Soleh. President Dr. Mohamed Muiz has pledged to revert the January start, aligning with long-standing national practices. To facilitate this change, the government has adjusted the 2025 academic year to conclude in December, paving the way for the return to a January commencement from 2026. This transition is to align school schedules with community and cultural practices, particularly during the end-of-year festive period. The shift is expected to benefit families, ensuring a more cohesive holiday period that aligns with national traditions. The ongoing academic year has seen 96,000 students enrolled across the Maldives. Of these, 83,000 are attending 217 government schools, while 13,000 are enrolled in private institutions. As schools reopen, the focus is on preparing students for the upcoming assessments and ensuring a smooth continuation of learning. As classrooms across the country come alive with the energy of returning students, the new term brings a sense of anticipation. With reforms to the academic calendar on the horizon, the Maldives is poised for a return to its traditional schedule. In a coordinated crackdown against suspected prostitution networks, Maldives Immigration and Maldives Police Service have apprehended 7 foreign nationals during a series of operations conducted between December 25 and December 30, 2024. The arrests include 4 women and 3 men, with authorities confirming that deportation procedures are either complete or underway. The arrested individuals include 4 Bangladeshi nationals. They are currently in detention pending deportation procedures. Additionally, 2 Russian nationals were among those detained. Authorities have stated that deportation procedures are actively underway for the remaining individuals still in custody. The Ministry of Climate Change, Environment and Energy has released its air quality report for December 2024 with moderate pollution levels in Vilimale, where the Centre for Maritime Studies is located. Data collected from local sensors recorded an average PM2.5 concentration of 17.3 micrograms per cubic meter for the month, reflecting a mixed picture of progress and challenges in addressing air pollution in the area. While the December average marks an improvement 8.1 micrograms per cubic meter compared to the same period last year, when PM2.5 levels reached 25.4 micrograms per cubic meter, there was an increase of 1.8 micrograms per cubic meter from November 2024, which recorded an average of 15.5 micrograms per cubic meter. Despite the overall reduction on a year-on-year basis, air quality throughout December failed to meet the World Health Organization's recommended standards on any day. This represents a decline from previous months and the difficulty of achieving consistency safe air conditions. December 2 emerged as the most polluted day of the month, with PM2.5 concentrations peaking at 43.5 micrograms per cubic meter, far exceeding safe thresholds. The daily breakdown of air quality revealed a predominance of moderate pollution levels interspersed with occasional improvements, but the month remained devoid of days classified as meeting global health guidelines. While progress has been made in reducing PM2.5 levels compared to December 2023, the increase from November stresses the importance of sustained efforts to mitigate emissions. Authorities encourage residents to remain vigilant, monitor real-time air quality updates, and adopt measures to protect their health during periods of heightened pollution. The Maldives celebrated a landmark achievement in 2024, recording a 9% increase in tourist arrivals compared to the previous year. According to the Ministry of Tourism, 2,047,435 tourists visited the island nation, surpassing the 2023 total of 1,878,543 and marking the first time Maldives welcomed over 2 million tourists in a single calendar year in 52 years of tourism. The government hit its target of 2 million tourists in December, setting several records along the way. February emerged as the month with the highest number of tourist arrivals, with 217,392 visitors. The country also recorded its busiest single day for arrivals during the year, further highlighting its growing appeal. China, Russia, the United Kingdom, Germany, and Italy were the top source markets, with over 200,000 visitors arriving from China and Russia, and more than 100,000 from the UK, Germany, and Italy. In 2025, the government aims to build on this success by increasing tourist arrivals by 15% and boosting tourism revenue to $5 billion. Promotional activities will include innovative efforts such as the Maldives Marketing and Public Relations Corporation, MMPRC's year-long global campaign, the world's biggest giveaway, launched on January 1, 2025, offering 52 all-expenses-paid holidays to highlight the Maldives as a premier travel destination. Additionally, with Maldivian introducing wide-body Airbus A330 aircraft, the nation is poised to welcome an estimated 60,000 more tourists annually. With a flight range of up to 10 hours, the A330 also opens opportunities for direct connections to Europe, Africa and Australia, boosting global accessibility and supporting the country's thriving tourism sector. And that concludes all the news we have for you this hour. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for other programs on the channel. Have a wonderful day.